century opened with some awesome feats, including Henry Ford's first Model T.
More people started driving, and some took flight thanks to two smart brothers known as the Wrights. Einstein, the man with the crazy white hair, came up with E equals MC squared. But this decade didn't always go as planned. We had the Boxer Rebellion and the Quake-Stand versus silent movies. Finally hit the air. Next we saw the intro of the teddy bear. Next came the teens. They were always so great. Who knew total war would dominate? The earth broke out into World War I, and the Russian Revolution had begun.
Many Americans didn't know what to think when Prohibition took the right to drink. No more having fun,
No more getting drunk.
Not long after that, the Titanic sunk. Tragedy struck when a fire rampaged through a factory known as Triangle Shirtwaist. The Spanish flu affected many boys and girls and killed millions all around the world. This decade surely wasn't all bad though. America got the first taste of an Oreo. After the stock market crashed in 29, poverty in the U.S. hit an all-time high. The Great Depression hit hard in the 30s. The Nazi Party came to power in Germany. They established camps to kill all the Jews, and Amelia Earhart disappeared. In other news, there was a wild crime spree by Bonnie and Clyde. Al Capone got locked up for tax evasion crimes. In the 40s, when we started this decade, World War II was already underway. The Nazis continued to kill every Jew they can, and when that was all over, the Cold War began. Pearl Harbor, D-Day, and the apartheid took place. Even Gandhi was assassinated because of his faith. We dropped atomic bombs in Japan. Fortunately, in 49, the NATO began. The 50s brought us into the golden age thanks to the polio vaccine. Many were saved. Elvis was the star in color TV came about. Next, Disneyland opened with the help of Mickey Mouse. War continued with the Soviets and the States. Tensions heightened even more due to the space race. Segregation ruled illegal and a movement began. Civil rights and equality finally took a stand. Next came the era of protests and drugs, rock and roll, hippies and hugs. America went to war with Vietnam. Then we saw the building of the Berlin Wall. The Beatles went big and MLK had a dream. Groovy is how this decade seems. The USSR sent the first man into space, and the Cuban Missile Crisis scared the United States. Kennedy was killed in '63, and the Vietnam War carried into the '70s. There were tragic events that were taking place, including the century's deadliest earthquake. Then the Munich Olympics massacre came around. Right before that was the one in Jonestown. Everyone loved disco without a doubt, and the movie of the decade, Star Wars, came out. At 3 Mile Island, an accident occurred. This decade was far out for sure. The Cold War was finally coming to an end. It was only the start, but we began to make amends. This was soon followed by the surprising fall of the 87-mile-long Berlin Wall. Mount St. Helens erupted. In the 80s, the oil spill of Exxon Valdez got kind of crazy. There was an Ethiopian famine and a poison leak in Bhopal. The discovery of AIDS made everyone appalled. Michael Jackson's Thriller was the jam. We saw the intro of the Rubik's and the game Pac-Man.
Now we enter the decade where we all were born.
Except for Mr. Beer, because he is like 84.
The Cold War ends and Mandela is released.
The 90s is the decade of both hope and release.
The internet became cool and new, but this decade had many tragedies too.
We had 9/11 and the Rwanda genocide, the Oklahoma City bombing, and the massacre at Columbine.
The century had some highs and it had some lows.
From 1901